Welcome. All right, let's call this meeting to order. This meeting is a meeting of the Board of Education and public for the purpose of conducting the school district's business and is not to be considered a public community meeting. FLSD Policy 0165.1. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, you may be seated. Opening ceremony. Do I have a volunteer to read the mission and vision statement?
Maybe. All right, our mission is to foster a community of learning and belonging. Our vision is to be a learning community centered on strengths and possibilities to empower our students and staff to think critically, grow intellectually, and live with integrity.
Thank you, Lindsay. Item number 3, additions to and approval of the agenda. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Okay. And I know, Jamie, we're going to go ahead and add that on.
I would like
Yes.
to make a motion to add a super severance payout discussion for the board.
Yes. Okay. So we need to amend the agenda. So we're going to add that to the agenda, Anita. Do we need a roll call vote for that? Okay. Any questions? All right. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Yes.
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 Motion passes. Moving on. Did you have something you wanted to say?
No, she just asked if I was a yes. I was a yes.
I'm sorry. Did I skip you? I'm sorry.
You got 3.
Okay. Item number 4, approval of the minutes from the regular meeting of August 18th, 2025. May I have a motion, please?
I'll move.
I'll second.
Okay. Any questions or discrepancies? All right. All those in favor of approving the minutes from our last meeting, please indicate by stating aye.
Aye.
All right. Motion passes. Moving on to item number 5, administrative report. Mr. Smith.
Yes, Madam President and Board. I think it's always exciting when you have young people attend a board meeting. They get to tell a compelling story, or we get to tell a compelling story about them. So tonight, where is Dr. Wormack? Dr. Wormack. He is going to give you just a few of our kids. So we have hundreds of kids that could be in here today, but we're only going to take a few. And he's going to give us an overview of some of the accomplishments that some of the young people have made, and so we can celebrate this thing with excellence. And you see all these beautiful smiles out there? Okay. Young people are the people that created these smiles. All right. Without them, there's no reason for us. True or false? True.
True.
All right. So, there you go.
All right, so thank you all very much for the opportunity to speak about our athletes. Our numbers have grown tremendously this year. I have not.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
Sorry. Can you hear me?
It's for the online.
Give it to me and I can't see.
Testing.
It doesn't come through anything besides the live stream.
Oh, okay.
All right. Very good. All right. So you won't hear yourself.
All right, so just thank you again for this opportunity to share about what's going on in the world of athletics at Finneytown. Our numbers have grown a lot this year. I have no answer for why, but they have the numbers for every sport seem to have risen at least by 10 to 15%. So it's really good. The boys soccer team started the year off great. Actually, every team started the year off great. Up until about 2 weeks ago, the majority of the teams are undefeated. So it's really good to see. I would have brought more people today, but the golf team was participating in the CHL championships this morning, playing 18 holes in 90-degree weather. They're kind of wiped out, so they did not make it. The girls' varsity volleyball and JV team are playing right now against Withrow. JV just won 2-0, and varsity was up 25-5 or 24-5 when I walked out.
So we were undefeated in all sports 2 weeks ago?
Up until 2 weeks ago, with the exception of football.
So we should have had this 2 weeks ago.
We should have had this 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Very good.
You got to check your calendar and get it right. But no, so everything has been going really well. We've had some tough defeats. I brought several members of the soccer team here. I had a couple volleyball players, but like I said, they're participating. Some golf players are participating. One of the football young men, he is out sick, and then the other young man is on his way back from a job interview. So we tried to do something new this year. So if you've been getting my weekly updates, I'm not going to apologize for sharing the good news. I'm not going to apologize for trying to generate more school spirit. School spirit generates a better culture. We know that right, wrong, or indifferent, the athletic department sets the tone for what your school year is going to look like. So that's what we're trying to do, and we're trying to generate a little bit more of that. So I'm going to bring up Jack Harlemer, so Jack can give you a brief overview of what's going on in boys soccer.
Hi, I'm Jack Harlemer. Like Warmack said, we had a really great start to the season. We started really strong. We have a whole... We have a very young team this year. So we have a lot of room to build off of things. We had a little rough patch over the last 2 weeks, but we're looking to really get that back toward the end of the season with this upcoming week of games and everything going forward.
Bravo.
Thank you.
Well, I'm not going to take too much of your time, but I do want to make you aware of one thing. Like currently right now, I am working on a grant that will provide free athletic services for Finneytown. So once I get more information, I'll make sure I share that with the board. I know Mr. Smith and I have talked about it. So it is a wonderful opportunity. It's a national organization to pay for athletic training for 3 years. We also went ahead and we currently have our own athletic trainer, which is good for us because we can control things. And then the other part too is, I'm pretty sure Mr. Anderson has shared at one point in time, we installed a brand new track this year. We renovated the main gym, which is beautiful. We haven't had an opportunity. You can come and see me. I'll gladly take you in it. And bleachers are currently being installed right now. So hopefully with the construction, we've had to shift a lot of things logistically. But hopefully by the end of this week, we'll be able to put varsity volleyball back in the main gym, and then we'll move middle school volleyball over here. So, any questions for me?
Well, first off, thank you for doing this. We love it when students are here participating. Jack, what year are you?
I'm a senior.
You're a senior. Okay, well, thank you for, I know it's at the end of your career, but thank you for coming and addressing the audience and the board. It means a lot to us. We've wanted to hear stuff like this for a long time, and it's, a lot of the board stuff is just bad stuff that's happening, and it's great to hear, you know, and maybe you don't win every game, but the fact that you're there representing the school, nice, you're filling it out quite a bit, but you got nice uniforms, not used to soccer players built that way, but you know, thank you for representing the school, and thank you for doing a great job doing so, because you are the way the rest of the area sees the school district, and you represent everybody here every time you step on the field. So thank
Absolutely.
you very much.
Yes, sir. Yes.
And Jack mentioned it. That's the one thing I'm glad you remind me. But we are very young. We don't have many seniors on our teams right now. I think the boys' the soccer team has 3. I think football has 6 or 7. Jaleel just showed up. Wave your hand, Jaleel, so everybody can see your pretty face. And so we have a very young team. So I'm excited for the future. I really am. I'm excited for where Finneytown's going to go from here on out, not just athletically but academically. So we appreciate your support, and go Wildcats.
Dr. Warmack, I do appreciate the emails. I love your emails. Please keep them up.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
I love them.
Yes, ma'am. Those are sitting up late at night. Those are scheduled to send out. If you want to get my emails, they're funny, but I think
All right, Mr. Smith, you can carry on with your presentation.
Yeah, there is, are there more students that are being recognized?
I don't know. Oh, okay, we're student council. Is that student council? Okay, good.
I can recognize students all day. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Hello to the board and audience. My name is Marina Dieters. I'm one of the counselors at elementary school, and along with Doug Durr, we run the elementary student council. So we have some enthusiastic members who have volunteered to tell you all about what we do.
Hello. Hello, my name is Harvey, and I'm a 5th grader. This year marks my first time serving on the Student Council. At the end of last year, in May, I decided to run for election. I created a poster and delivered a speech explaining my desire to join the Student Council. After my classmates voted, I was thrilled to be among the top 10 in my class, allowing me to serve on the Student Council. I already hit the ground running by talking with my classmates about ways we can make Finneytown Elementary better.
Hello, my name is Julia and it's my 2nd year on Student Council. A significant part of our role involves organizing fundraisers. We plan fun events for all students, including movie nights for kindergarten through 3rd grade, as well as socials for 4th, 5th, and 6th graders. The funds we raise go straight back to our school to support our PBIS programming.
Awesome.
Hello, my name is Clayton, and this is my 2nd year on Student Council. One way we show our leadership in Student Council is by giving back to our community through volunteering. One of our Student Council traditions is to take the money we raise at our fall social and go shopping at Kroger with Miss Heath for Wildcat Serve to fill our community pantry for holiday meals. We also went to Matthew 25 Ministries as a group. It was fun to spend a Saturday morning sorting donations that I learned are sent out to help people all over the world.
Hey there, I'm Abby, and I'm diving into my 2nd year on the Student Council roller coaster. One of our superpowers? Bumping up the school spirit. We cook up wild and wacky spirit weeks and put our creative caps on to make school a more fun place to be. Thank you for inviting us to share what we do.
I just want to say how proud I am of all of the students that came back for Student Council this year. Harvey here was one that was in my class last year and really encouraged him. He showed qualities of a Student Council member and encouraged him to run, and I know his parents did as well, who are here tonight. So and all of these students I had taught in some capacity at some point, but it's more about the students, not about me. So that's what's great about Student Council, is that it's an opportunity for so many kids to get involved in their school and also be positive role models for other students at our school. So if anyone has any questions for us at this time. Yes.
All right, great. The mic's on. So I really, really like hearing a theme that you all had, which was service for others. That's very, very important. And while you're not politicians, you kind of are at the school, but you're there representing and doing things for everybody, which is fantastic. But Harvey, I've got a question for you. Yes. You said you talked to your classmates. What was one of the great ideas that they had to make the elementary school a better place? And what are you most proud of so far on what you've done on student government?
One thing I'm most proud of is like how we like talk together as a team and no arguing, and we always give each other feedback and stuff. And then one thing we talked about to make Finneytown Elementary better is like trying to get people's more opinions on things. Like social, like 4th grade through 6th grade, I want to get like more people's opinions on it, so we can raise more money to help the school get better and stuff like that.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Do you know how hard it is for adults to disagree and still get along? Do you know how hard that is? So the fact that you can do it at your age is really a wonderful thing.
Thank you.
So there are some fantastic people that brought these people, right? So raise your hands. Somebody came with these children, all right? Okay. I'd like to see about getting a great photo opportunity where the parents and the students are right here so people can see the pride of Finneytown. All right, very good. Parents, come on up. You know, board, this is going to be my first photo opportunity. I'm getting in.
Go for it.
I'm getting in.
I will get out.
Okay, big smiles. 1, 2, 3.
Awesome job, guys. Thanks so much for being here. Did you have anything else for your report?
No, I've got the rest of the safety and the DPIA.
Okay, you want to lead into that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do they take a break now, or they just keep going?
Just keep going.
Okay, all right. Well, Mr. Anderson, so in order for these young people to be as articulate as they were, we have to make sure that all the safety aspects are in line. So, Mr. Anderson, come up and give us a whole view of the school safety report.
We brought our team, part of our safety team, together tonight. So if I can have our reps from each of our buildings come on up. Yeah, just over on this side. I left the camera over this way since I'm not back there. So just quick introductions. I'm Grant Anderson. I'm the Director of Business for Finneytown. This is Bill Summey, who is our school resource officer. He's been, how many years have you been with the township? Because you've done a couple different things for us now.
I started off this career 34 years ago. I started on the fire department in 1989, a long time ago. So.
All right, and then we have Mr. Walker.
Hello, Anton Walker. I'm assistant principal, secondary campus. I've been here since 2018.
Great. And then Mr. Snyder.
Hi there, Tom Snyder. This is my second year in the district, but Finneytown, born and raised. Assistant principal at the elementary school, mostly over K through 2.
What year are you, by the way? 99. All right. Awesome stuff. So tonight we are going to just share a little bit about what goes into school safety in Finneytown, the people that are involved, the procedures we go through. And so I'll kind of just give us, start us off. And real big picture stuff, it's the foundation of learning. Kids cannot learn if they don't feel safe, and parents do not feel that their children are safe at school. So that's foundational. That is our goal every single day. It's about protecting students, our staff, and our community. And it's always thinking multiple layers, redundancy. So how do we take care of physical security? How do we take care of preparedness, that our staff knows how to respond, our community understands what's going to be going into that, our community partners have been part of that training. And then what else can we do to make sure that everybody is healthy, mentally healthy, physically healthy? So this is where all of our partnerships come into play. So just so you know who's on our team, this is kind of the big picture. And there are other people that do tag in to individual meetings. But we've got representatives from both buildings, Springfield Township. Mike Stein has been an integral part for the township with fire and EMS. Sean Riley is our safety consultant, and he is a fantastic resource. He works with dozens and dozens of districts around Hamilton County and just keeps us abreast of everything that's happening new. Any kind of major event that goes on, there is information shared and gleaned from those situations that he brings back to our district. He's just a wealth of resources. Mike Grody and Al Bolton serve on our teams as teachers who are also working with our students with disabilities and really help us think about all types of kids and all types of situations. So just there's a depth and breadth to our team. And then we kind of come back around to our school nurses, really making sure that everybody is healthy. We're thinking about all sorts of preparedness because there's lots of different situations that pop up, including just kids with diabetes or seizure disorders or other things. So a big team. And so at this point, we're going to go into physical security. Is that you?
All right. Let me step out here where I can see what I'm talking about here. We went through this. We meet monthly. We have a safety team meeting. So anytime you have school security, you got to think about A, the students, B, the staff, and C, you have to also think about the campus, the property protection, things like that. through that, it's a fluid situation. We come up, you know, with ideas and implement them, and we adjust them as needed, as situations change, as the climate changes. But the thing we've done a lot, the managed points of entry in buildings. We have these identification cards, and they also work as door keys, swipe in and out. We keep the doors secured the best we can, obviously. With the management system for visitors, they also would get an ID, temporary ID. We scan their state ID in, so we know exactly who they are. The locked door, exterior doors, and the regular door maintenance. Mr. Anderson and I work together a lot. I've went around with the door company and checked the doors. I frequently check them throughout the school day and the week to make sure that they're functioning correctly. The security cameras inside and outside, we have them at all of our buildings, all of our campuses. That's something I frequently review. In fact, if you came over to my office, I've got multiple computers where I can keep them up when I'm in my office and view the different areas of the campuses. And we're constantly tweaking them, putting them where we need them, and things like that. And then, of course, I'm on site. A lot of you see me in the mornings over here at the elementary school and in the afternoons when the kids are dismissed. My office is at the secondary campus. I'm on site over there. I carry all these radios. I can probably talk to Japan if I wanted to. But, I've got the local township where I can directly reach our fire department and the police department, road crew if I was to have some kind of issue with the streets. This here goes to 911, if you would call that. I've got access to Cincinnati Dispatch, Hamilton County Dispatch. I can even switch over to Butler County if we had some kind of a major event. And then we also have the in-house system that we can communicate with each other, which we do frequently. The fire department, Mr. Anderson mentioned Captain Stein. We work together frequently. Captain Richards, he's also in charge of the EMS. I'm frequently in contact with him. So we do have good partnerships, and we're fortunate here in Finneytown that the township has a lot of good employees also. I'm fortunate to be able to work with both. So, thank you.
Awesome. All right. Emergency preparedness.
Okay. Fire drills, tornado, lockdown, reunification drills. We do all these things, and it has to happen. You have to be in compliance with the Ohio Department of Education. And, you know, we go through these things, and we do our best to make sure that everyone is in compliance. As far as the fire drills are concerned, evacuation drills, teachers are supposed to have a red card or a green card. Red card meaning, hey, there's something wrong. Green card meaning, yeah, I have all my students, that sort of thing. So everyone is trained in ALICE, okay? And as far as any type of lockdown or anything of that situation, age-appropriate student lessons and parent notifications. You know, we make sure that we communicate when things are amiss, such as when we had that the gas leak that we had. So getting that information out to everyone was very important. Again, with communication with our PA system, the radios. Officer Summey mentioned the radios, the in-house radios that we have. We always do a check-in with each other in the mornings, make sure everybody's got the radio, you know, check in. With the mass notification system, with the One Call Now, that's what Mr. Anderson used in order to notify everyone. So again, with our safety drills and things that we have to do, we have to make sure, again, that the environment is safe for all of the students. And that's basically it. But this is something that we do on an ongoing basis, and we always check in with each other, you know, to get opinions about what's the best for everyone.
Very good.
All right, I'm back. This governance and compliance, I work with John Riley quite a bit on this, going over the safety plans. The state of Ohio, because we're a public school district, requires certain safety plans to be in place, and we have to review them. Sean and I went over and did the 3-year safety plan. We finished it up, I think it was May, and it's been sent off for compliance, which any time you send something off to the state government, it can take a little while, but we got our end of it done. So they've been filed with the Ohio School Safety Center. The District Safety Committee and staff and law enforcement and safety consultants. That's why I was talking about when we do the monthly. We meet every month. We got representatives from each building, and we go over anything different, anything needs to be changed, how this works out, and we come up with some ideas and just make sure everything's working the way it should. And then the continuous improvement from the drills and the feedback we receive from that. As Mr. Walker stated, we have fire drills, we have the tornado drills, and the lockdown type drill. And whenever we observe those, we get together after, have a debriefing to see what could be improved if there's improvement needed. So we're constantly trying to better ourselves because, as I said in the beginning, it's about protecting the students and the staff and then the campus. So that's very important to us.
Awesome. All right, we're going to, I think we jumped over this one. Here's health and well-being. Here's Mr. Schneider.
Thank you. So in addition to physical safety and emergency preparedness, we take steps to ensure the health and emotional health and well-being of our students. Some things that we have in place include an online reporting system to anonymously report bullying and threats. From these reports, principals are immediately notified via email. As one of our community partnerships, we have Catalyst counselors in each building. They're a school-based mental health provider. And then across the district, we have 6 school counselors, 3 school psychologists, and a district social worker. As a district, we implement positive interventions and positive behavior interventions supports, restorative practices, and responsive classroom. And then just a little note on digital safety. Obviously, all of our devices, all the Finneytown devices are blocked from accessing inappropriate material. However, one extra step is that if a student does happen to search or in the Google bar look up anything of concern, for example, related to suicide or self-harm or weapons, emails are immediately sent to the principals and the school counselors so those things can be addressed right away.
So lots of layers of, in some of those things you may have known about. I do want to call out, if there are issues going on, bullying, harassment, anything like that, or threats, you can always place an anonymous report on our website. There's also a phone number that you can call if you'd rather do that. It's accessible straight through our website. In terms of our safety drills, at secondary campus there are 9 evacuation drills a year, 3 lockdown drills, and then we have tornado drills during April, May, and June. And so there are just a myriad of different things that we do to train, and then we also do some internal drills, trying to figure out if there's something that we need to prepare for or another district has gone through something, then we talk about it and try and make sure, how would we handle this? Would it be the same as this other district that went through this, or would it be different for us based upon location or other components? Is this me? Okay, cool. Just make sure. Keeping me straight. All right. Ongoing future things. So we are continuing to increase the amount of access control, and this all comes down to the swipe cards all across our campus. We have continued to invest in that heavily. We have a yearly door maintenance program with a local company who comes through and checks every single one of our exterior doors and adjusts them so that they properly close. So they actually will be here tomorrow, which is great. We have our visitor management system you already heard about. It does do a cursory background check to make sure nobody is in the sex offender database. We have threat assessment teams for each building. If there is some type of threat made or any kind of concern that arises to a higher level. And so we have a broad team that is part of that and has been trained to go through that and figure out whether or not is it a true threat, to what level, and then what do we need to do to handle it. All of our partnerships, and yeah, really, I'll shout out again Sean Riley at the county for really helping us stay on top of not only what we are required to do, but really helping us go out after grants, which we have had hundreds of thousands of dollars over the last 3 years in grants, thanks to his help with completing those applications for it. So, just to recap, students and staff safety is our priority. We have systems in place that are layered systems that we try and have redundancy in place. It is something that we are always talking about after every single drill we do or situation that arises. What could we have done differently? What could we have done better? Including just a week and a half ago when we had our gas line that was hit at secondary campus. After that event, the whole secondary admin team, we sat down and talked about what went well, what didn't go well, what do we need to change in our plans. And so it's no, we're not pointing fingers or anything, but we are going to figure out how do we always respond in the best way possible to keep kids and staff safe. So with that, questions or feedback?
I was just going to point out, I noticed at the elementary school, we also now have fresh paint, we have speed bumps, and you talked about the major things, but those minor things are also really important. And I believe late last year or early last year, we talked about increasing the time on the crosswalk and all of those safety things for the transition periods, and that's really appreciated.
Yeah, and I'll call out this picture even up here, which is a little small, but the township, and specifically Bill, really helped us go to town. Literally, like, we had to battle to get our crosswalk flashing light signs actually south of our campus. When they originally were picked and installed, they were literally at our crosswalk.
It's too late.
Instead of 200 or 300 feet in front of our crosswalk. And so it just became an incredible bureaucratic battle, but Bill was instrumental in helping us push that through, and the township was fantastic. Both Scott Chardine and Chris Gilbert were really helpful in just pushing that, so I want to give them some love for that.
Well, Mr. Anderson, I feel safer just looking at that team. It just makes me feel comfortable that, that team is out there just kind of looking out for our best interests. So thank you guys for a great presentation. Yeah.
All right, any more
It's always the Dutch brothers slowing down traffic.
Yeah. Dutch Brothers definitely is, and that's, what's interesting is even that situation has been a conversation with the district.
Yeah.
And so there is a true partnership in terms of us going to the township, hey, we need support with different things going on campus, but them turning around and saying, hey, would you guys be open to this or this? We've got this traffic issue on Renard. So it is interesting that those conversations happen, and it's one of those things that we're all trying to figure this out, and how do we best support the community, and our job is ultimately students first, but really coming together as a community. So it's organized. So all right. Thanks, guys.
Another round of applause for our safety team, guys. Awesome. Thank you so
I'm going to
much.
just jump in for 1 second on, just so you guys, I'm going to do this in literally 1 minute. Just a quick update on facilities, just so you guys are aware. I know you heard Mr. Wormack, or Dr. Wormack, talk about the gym bleachers. So gym bleachers are actively going in, and they should be complete by the end of this week, which means our main gym at secondary is going to be up and running, and we're going to be able to start hosting events over there. I know especially our girls volleyball is very pumped to be there. So just big thanks again to our Finneytown Alumni Network. This is a partnership project with them that made this possible. Other things, just new building update. Really, the biggest thing, if you come on campus right now, and we're probably getting close to trying to get you guys over there so you can see it up close and personal, but basically the entire outline of the building is now down. And so they're called footers, so we've dug down and we've poured concrete, rebar, and we actually have, depending, 2 or 3 rows of the foundation block in place. And so it is coming along pretty quickly here. Here's some foundation block sitting on top of that. You can see different kind of tubes coming in to bring either water, sewage, gas, or electric into the building, or low voltage stuff. So just a lot of work going on. So we will start seeing walls go up this week, exterior walls. And then at the beginning of October, we are supposed to pour the actual concrete slabs inside the building. And so that kind of ties everything together. So it is going to start flying very, very soon. So just wanted to give you a brief update on that. So
Okay.
good. All right.
All right. Thank you, Grant, for that. Anything
Yes.
else for your report?
Next one. Ready? All right. So many school districts receive the disadvantaged pupil impact aid, but we're doing ours a little different. And the reason we're doing it differently is because anytime you use taxpayers' dollars, there should be a report of how it turns out. We need to figure out, should we be doing more of this or more of that? And Dr. Dinan is going to give us an overview of how the funds were distributed and the cause and effect of how things worked out. Should we be doing more with a particular group? Should we be using the funds in a different way? And we're going to come back and give the board a quarterly report of how these funds were used and the impact it made, the difference for children. There you go.
Okay, thanks. I'm Jen Dinan. I'm your assistant superintendent. So as Superintendent Smith said, the purpose of this is to give you an overview of how we use our DPIA and SWS funds. Board members, you have the more detailed report in front of you. This presentation, the purpose is to give an overview for our community of, number one, what are the purpose of these funds? Number two, how did we choose as a district to allocate them? And then number three, how are we going to measure their impact? So DPIA and SWS funds are two different funds that come from the state, but they complement each other quite nicely. Both funds together help us improve academic outcomes, remove barriers to learning, support whole child development. So we're looking at the academic, the mental, and the physical and social well-being, and then they align to our strategic goals for equity, readiness, and student success. A little comparison of the two right there, you'll see the DPIA do focus a little more on academics, while SWSF have to be the mental health and social emotional family engagement piece. You'll see for the use of funds, we chose, there's what are called allowable use categories. For DPIA, we have about 9 different categories we can choose from. So we focused on instructional aids, nursing, literacy, our school psychologists, and our SRO. With the SWS funds, there's not as many allowable use categories, and 50% or more must go towards mental health. And then we also have put the funds towards wraparound services and family engagement. So you'll see there's a little overlap in our focus areas. Both, we want that physical and mental and social emotional well-being. With DPA, there's also the focus of the academic achievement, whereas with SWSF, that's where we get the family engagement and community wraparound piece. Both are funded based on our poverty level and student enrollment. As Superintendent Smith mentioned, we want to be able to measure them. So are they having the impact we expected them to have? And there's a lot of overlap. No one thing leads to a good graduation rate or a high attendance rate or high literacy rate, but all of those are indicators that help us see if where we're putting the funds are having the impact that we want. With our DPIA specifically, we use those funds for instructional aids, nursing services, SRO partnership, literacy support, and school psychologists. And the arrow tells you which allowable use category that falls into for the state. We look at 3-year trends, recognizing that it can take 3 years, gives you a good view of, are you headed in the right direction? There might be dips or peaks along the way, but are you trending the right way? So that first number you see there is from the 23-24 school year, and then that is our target by the end of the 25-26 school year. With the SWSF funds, again, that's the mental health piece, family engagement, collaboration with the community agencies. That target impact, we get reports from both Catalyst, who are our mental health providers, and MindPeace at the end of each year. That helps us see how often is counseling being recommended or are people being referred. And then also, if therapy is actually happening. So we look to increase that when we're offering the mental health and therapy, are people able to participate? And if not, what are those barriers and how can we eliminate those barriers? So together, these two funds provide academic interventions, mental and physical health care, safe and supportive environments, and family and community engagement, with the result being an equity-driven whole child support system to improve our readiness, attendance, and graduation. So our next steps, as Superintendent Smith mentioned, we will we'll monitor it, those key metrics quarterly. Some of those pieces of data we don't get maybe until a semester or annually, but we're constantly looking at especially attendance, graduation, literacy, and discipline. And then we want to adjust and refine annually based on that data. If we see something is not trending the way we want it to, that is a good sign, okay, we need to pivot. And what is another way to use those funds? And that's the overview. All right, any questions?
No, wonderful presentation. Thank you, Jen.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. All right, round of applause, everybody. Wonderful. At this time, we can move into our discussion about the super severance. I know that Jamie's kind of been taking the lead on this, so if you want to kind of explain to the board the change that you would like to make or proposing.
So the proposal that I'm making, we have talked a lot on this board about super severance, and my issue in the past has been the difference in what super severance entails for administration and staff. It's not necessarily that super severance existed, it was just that staff, it was dependent on sick days, administration, it was a straight percentage of salary, and that's where my issue came with it. But lately, though, I have found out that the payout of super severance and who earned it was different than what my understanding has been on the board, and morally, I think it's wrong. I have been under the impression that when a teacher, because it's an incentive to get them to retire when they're able to retire, I thought it was being paid when they hit that first year of full retirement. And I've since found out that they are being paid out only if it's at their first year of partial. And I don't think any teacher can afford to retire on the partial. And I think if I had known that when I agreed to the first contract in 2022, I would have been against that and would have wanted that changed. I think it is a mistake that we've made as a board. What I'm proposing now is to have our attorney come up with how we fix it going forward. So adjust the contract that is currently in place now, and I'm not comfortable going back prior to when I was on the board, not fixing mistakes that I think were made by previous boards, just what I'm responsible for. I want that to be investigated. And if it's an incentive, it was the most ineffective ever because no one could use it. So it wasn't an incentive, and the amount of fighting that was happened regarding it, I think everyone was under the impression that it was being paid at that first full year of a teacher, like earning that full retirement. So I would like us to have the attorney come up with how that is addressed going forward, and then at the next board meeting, us vote on whether, like, everyone can do the research and then vote at the next board meeting on whether we as a board agree to move forward like that. Like I look at Dave Oliverio got the super severance, but his wasn't an incentive. A previous board changed his contract to his was a reward. It was once he hit 25 years, he was guaranteed to get it, whereas staff and administrators, this isn't just teachers, this is administrators as well. It's being interpreted, I believe, that they have to go at that early retirement age, which is not full benefits, which no one can afford to go. It's just, like, I'm on a very similar pension with my county job, and I can't afford to go before I hit that year, and it is a long time in. I would just like, I think as a board, that it was the same understanding that I have, and I just would like to take time and address it now, but at the next meeting have a vote after Jason tells us what we need to do, and then all of the board members can have that vote, and if the majority thinks we should fix it, then we fix it. That is all I'm proposing.
discussion?
I will just chime in and say that I was under the same impression that it was at full retirement and that there were certain people getting it. I am very confused about the amount of arguments and discussion that we had on it now, knowing that the people we were arguing and discussing it with seemed to have the same opinion that we did at the time. I don't understand how that happened, and I will clearly say I did not realize when we signed it that that's what it was saying. I thought it was at full retirement age. So, yeah, I agree. This was a mistake that we made, and we need to fix it.
How do we give the contracts? Like when we're working with staff, do we just go over the contract and kind of let them know when they're first eligible? Like how does that work? What is our process for that? You may not know yet, but do you know?
The contract, the language regarding the retirement assistance plan is in their negotiated agreement.
Okay, is it ever like pointed out to them or?
Typically when a teacher gets close to retirement, there is a meeting that they have with the treasurer, and the treasurer goes over with them what they're eligible for based on whether they're retiring at reduced benefits or at full benefits.
So that happens 5 years, because isn't that the difference in the two ages, is 5 years?
There's
Like, is
been
it
some change,
120?
there's been some change, so.
But it was always, I thought it was 30 and 35 3 years ago, and now it's dropped down to 32 and 27, I think. So I don't know if people have that discussion 5 years before. One thing I can say is I've spoken to the union on this, and I think they're in support of us having this conversation, and it is okay for the union to talk to us about this because it is not aggrievable. When I heard about it, the discussion was, have you gone it? But it is not a grievable event, like issue, so they can come to the board to discuss that, and that's why that discussion has happened with some teachers and a member of the board, or a member of the union. So I think the teachers will support us looking into it. I think the administrators should as well, but that's where we are. But again, I'm not asking for a vote on it today. I'm asking for the legwork to be done so that we can have an educated vote at the next meeting to make that decision.
And I think it's important that there's a level of transparency about what this conversation looks like. Who is it for, who benefits, and what the language really said, so it can be interpreted right, so people are treated fairly. That's what we want.
Yeah, I'll say that in the beginning, like when you first proposed this to us, I had a lot of concerns. Like I had concerns on finances and what it would do to the district. But hearing you explain it a little bit more, I feel like it should be an incentive for people to stay longer. I feel like there should be a reward for that. So.
See, Madam President, every school district had this at some point in time. And for some districts, it was called an early buyout. For other districts, it's a super severance. And as some of the teachers matured and became a little more seasoned, the incentive was for them to retire so that younger teachers could come in and the district would be paying them a lower wage. That's just the natural process that was going to happen. But as districts began to balance themselves, many districts got rid of this. They said, we don't even need this anymore because our system is balancing itself.
So it was more of a financial
decision.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Do you have any?
It could be negotiated in the first place. It could be negotiated with the contract whenever time the teachers negotiate the contract the teachers union negotiate the contract with the district, right? This is always could have been on the plate for the school district to debate with the union, right? Not a board issue, but a union with the district issue, right?
The board is the district in that sense.
Yes.
So yes, it's still with the board.
The treasurer is doing what he or she needs to do to make sure we are at the financial needs that we can do to help our students.
I do not think as a decision maker that I was fully informed of that process. And if the teachers are expected to understand it with their contract, I think we should have been made fully aware of it. And if in 2022, when I've been on the board for 3 months, and I had heard that I would not have been in support of that. But if we should have been educated as well.
On top of that, knowing how much we have discussed super severance and how much we have dug into it, it should have been very clear, even at that point, that what we were talking about, we should have known what it was. And I clearly, after how many hours we spent talking about it, did not know this until recently.
I've made a mistake. Like, this is something I've been wrong on since I got on the board, and I want to fix it. That's where I am. I want to present a vote so that this board can decide to fix it or not. But I made a mistake, and I want to correct it.
Are you able to share any of your reasoning as to why this, this change might hurt the district, or any type of knowledge that you may have?
I will suffice it to say that it will be a financial impact on us to pay super severance or the retirement assistance program for every person that retires.
Do we know how many have really gotten the package, though, the severance? The last, 5 or 10 years? Do we?
I have not.
Because most people don't use it. They don't take it. So it's based on how many people actually use it, which is kind of rare.
It's based on when you are eligible, first eligible to retire.
But I think
So-
Ms. Ruffin, Mr. Ray put a contingent in that says, how far do you go back?
I think one of the last questions we had to was, do we know how many retirees
Correct.
that would have included?
So, from fiscal year, just a second here.
And part of my thing was that we didn't have to have this specific discussion tonight. This was that we could talk about it next month, and everyone
Very
could
good.
educate themselves to a level so that we're not putting people on the spot.
No, I don't have to have the number tonight. It's just if I could get it before next month so that I could process it.
She has it.
Oh, okay.
So for 22, 23, or 23, 24, and 25, that would affect 6 people.
Okay. Thank you.
I have reservations in going backwards. It opens up a Pandora's box. I feel that the union, well, in 2 years, we'll sit down with the district, with our lawyers, their lawyers, we'll discuss with their lawyers.
Very good.
And if the union feels strongly, and I understand every individual has the opportunity, should have the opportunity to enjoy retirement financially. We pay lawyers good money, and the union pays lawyers good money to negotiate for what needs to happen. By the time it hits our table, it has already gone through lawyers, treasurers, accountants, and everything else to make sure it was agreed upon document. Breaking open something that also happened years ago, again, I have concerns with. If we're moving forward, then that's a different discussion. But if we're going to try to go backwards, that is opening up Pandora's box, because if we just say, hey, we're just going back 1 year, what's there to say the other years, other retirements, other individuals say, well, if you're going backwards now, then I can turn around and you can keep going backwards.
I think my qualifier, though, 4 of us were brand new on the board. 4 of 5 were brand new on the board when it happened, and I can honestly say I feel misled on this. And that's with our people negotiating it. I feel misled. So that's just my take on it. Again, we can all, all I'm asking is that we tell our attorney to look into what it will take, and then at the next board meeting, we present it and vote on it. That is all. Everyone's been, after the information's provided, that's all I'm asking.
Well, that's fair, but I still think it should be within our lawyers that negotiate with the union contracts.
I think it's also fair, though, to remember that lawyers and negotiators are human, and we are not infallible, and mistakes can be made, and different opinions on what is the right answer and what is the wrong answer, or even just assumptions or understandings of what everyone knows is very different. Maybe those lawyers thought they were very clear on something that it turns out they weren't. And that misinterpretation or that misunderstanding with someone leading it then trickles down to everybody else. It's very easy for this in a very complicated legal contract for something to be wrong and missed. And when I say wrong, I mean wrong in my eyes. I don't know if it's wrong in everybody's eyes, but if I had known that that's what it was saying, knowing that teachers cannot afford to retire at an early retirement age, I would not have agreed with that. And I was one who was very against super severance. I don't know if everyone recalls that, but we had quite a lot of discussion, and I did not want the super severance because I thought it was going to negatively impact the district.
So some things seem very attractive at the time because you don't have many people in the bundle. But as you begin to have more people in it, it becomes less attractive because now it is going to affect the district's financial outcomes. That's just the way that it is. You know, we're talking about 6 people, but I'm sure Ms. Ruffin's going to give a comprehensive report of how many people are we talking about for a next round, if there's a next round.
Yeah, I think we need to just pause this conversation, table it, and maybe have a discussion a different date.
Can we have a vote on whether to ask Jason to get involved and start? Like, just ask what it would entail, and then we can, Anita can do her job, Anthony can do ours, and then we will have the information presented to us so that next meeting we can have a fully educated discussion on it. That's all I'm asking, is if we can ask our attorney to start writing up what would need to happen.
If that's a motion, I would second it.
That would be fair.
Okay.
If that's a motion to give
The
direction to the
motion, she
attorney,
seconded.
I will second it.
But we will not be voting on it.
We're not
Not
voting
tonight.
No, not on the change.
Nor are we going to vote on it next month. Because if we're going to come back with actually information, there's nothing to be voting on because we're getting the information to
Well,
discuss.
I would expect the information to be to us before the next meeting.
And then we
So
should be
that
able to
we
vote
can
on it.
have
Then
the
we'd have that time
discussion
to
and the
discuss
vote
it.
next month.
Well,
I've only got 3 more months in this job. So this is something I want addressed, be it yes or no, while I am sitting at this table. I'm not, if I'm voted down, that's fine. But I want to have this conversation and this discussion so that everyone gets an answer, rather than giving it to 3 people that haven't been part of it, because then it's exactly the same as what happened with us in '22.
And also knowing when Anita needs to do adjusted budgets and reconciliations, I think the timing makes more sense to do it next month.
I think I'm a little bit concerned hearing, Mr. Smith, who has a lot of experience and he's been doing this for a while, as well as Anita, just hearing them say that this could potentially harm the district. I am concerned. So I'll need information. I'll need some time to think about my decision. So, any other discussion? Are we going to at least get the information? Is that what you were wanting?
All I'm asking
Okay.
is if we have a vote on whether Jason can start, Anita can
Okay,
start.
let's do a roll
That's
call
all
vote
I'm
for
asking.
that. May I have a roll
That's
call vote, please? Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, motion passes. Okay, moving on to item number 6, public address. Just going to read a couple of opening statements here. The board believes it is in the best interest and the best interest of the students of the district to hear comments from members of the public. It has been therefore a long-standing practice of the board to encourage and allow residents to speak at a public meeting. This may be done by completing the bottom portion of the form and giving it to the board president prior to the meeting. The following guidelines ensure that everyone interested in addressing the board may do so and that the board conducts the business of the school district in an effective and efficient manner. Number 1, attendees must register their intent to participate in the public participation portion, a lot of P's there, of the meeting upon their arrival at the meeting by completing this form and returning it to the board president or presiding officer. Number 2, each speaker is limited to 5 minutes. 3, for the public record, each speaker addressing the board must state their name, address, and group affiliation if and when appropriate. Any materials or handouts must be presented to the treasurer for record. Number 4, the naming of individuals, profanity, abusive language, and speeches that invade individual privacies will not be tolerated. Number 5, the board will take no action regarding matters or issues presented through public address in the meeting in which the public address was made. All necessary follow-ups will be made verbally or in writing at a later date. Okay. If you want to come on up, Mike. You want to state your name and where you're from? Yeah. Thanks for being here, Mike.
My name is Michael Hamill. I live over on 8532 Brent Drive. I have no affiliation with anybody. I'm just a taxpayer and a parent here in the district. I'm continuing what I had started last month, and it's about the banned books, the books that are in our libraries, the secondary library and the elementary school library. I'm going to focus on one book that I found. There's at least 60 or 70 books that are highly questionable as far as content and who wrote them, how they were written, and not even borderline, it's pornography. It's verbal pornography, and in some of these books there are pictorial pornography in them. I'm going to read a little bit from one of the books. The book is Court of Thorns and Roses from Sarah Moss. I'm sorry. His bite lightened, and his tongue caressed the places his teeth had been. He didn't move. He just remained in the spot, kissing my neck, intentionally, territorially, lazily. He pounded between my legs, and as he ground his body against me, every aching spot, a moan slipped past my lips. More. I wanted the hardness of his body crushing against mine. I wanted his mouth and teeth and tongue on my bare skin, on my breast, between my legs, everywhere. I wanted him everywhere. That's one page. That's one paragraph. I'm embarrassed to read this. It's hard for me to read this. But there's a lot worse stuff in these libraries that our tax dollars are paying, and our children should not be reading this material. This book is suggested to be for an 18-year-old, and there are not enough 18-year-olds in this school that should be and have the opportunity to check this book out. There are, like I said, there's 65 or 70 books, and that's just in the secondary campus alone. I'm abhorred at the fact that our tax dollars are paying for this, and our children are accessible to this kind of information. They don't need this. There was a lot of talk in here this evening, too, about SEL, social emotional learning. I am very anti-social emotional learning because social emotional learning does not teach critical thinking skills. It teaches you how to make decisions and reflect on those and answer according to emotional standards. You are talking about somebody who is emotionally charged, and you can't deal with emotion. You cannot deal with emotional conversations. Don't deal with facts. That's why the DEI program, I wish Superintendent Smith would do what he can to start removing some of these programs, such as DEI, and disallow CRT, the background for the teaching of the curriculum. Remove it from the schools. It has nothing to do with critical thinking, with good access to quality education, and it's just bringing down our schools. And I invite you you board members too to go down to Chick-fil-A and some of the other businesses that are around here after 3 o'clock when school gets out. I've been down witnessing firsthand on more than one occasion with Chick-fil-A, with the students coming down to the building and fighting, very verbally abusive to people, swearing. It's out of control. There was a young man a couple of weeks ago that he got into a fight with a young lady, and I went out and I yelled, "Hey, stop!" And their friends were videoing them, and he said, "Oh, they're just playing." They were not playing. He started swinging each other, and he knocked her on the ground, and he was immediately on top of her, ready to swing again. This is not the first time it's happened. It happens a lot. It happens over the other businesses as well. 3 o'clock, and we're sending people down there. We're sending teachers down there in the goats. Once that teacher comes back off the property down there, that's when everything falls apart. And that's what DEI is teaching these kids how to do. Trust me, it's all the background for that, because there's no respect. I believe there's been a couple situations at Dutch Brothers already. There's been situations over in the Kroger parking lot, over in front of the Five Below or whatever that is. But 3 o'clock on, and I believe Mr. Smith needs to be involved in the decisions that are going on. I think you need to be informed of when this is going on, and I think you need to be involved. Last year it didn't happen, and the administration in the building was removed, and they were isolated from the incidences. That's what I was told to my face. And it's if that's what the quality of education is doing in the school, something drastic needs to change. I have other things I'd like to talk about, but I'll save them for another time. So I thank you for your time this evening.
Your continued support, and I'll have a response in the next week or so for you. Okay. Moving on to item number 7, review of action steps from last month. The first item is board retreat planning, and I know Seth is kind of taking the lead on that. Do you have any updates for the board?
At this moment in time, tentative date looks to be, actually the date looks to be the December 6th. It's going to be on Saturday. It's going to be a day training. I just heard back from the...
You said December 6th?
December 6th.
Did anybody, ask what the day was?
I have not had a chance to put it on the board calendar yet. I got the email just recently.
Yeah, I'm not sure about
I have a game that day.
Yeah, I didn't get...
Well, it is also, mainly it's the conversation for the new coming board members as well, so I believe...
I think for me, though, I love the idea of doing a retreat with the board, with the new board. But I do think there needs to be a transition because we've been in these seats the last 4 years, so it would be nice if we could all come together and kind of just, we can be a support for them if they need things and kind of mesh it together. I think just completely just shutting the board out of the retreat, it kind of makes it as not of a smooth transition in my opinion.
Well, I apologize if you feel I was shutting the board off. At the best date that could have been to get the OSBA and to get everyone together during the small window that we have, December 6th, that week, actually the first week of December, is the best open date.
Was there a request for calendar?
No, I have not made a request for calendar. I was trying
Okay.
to get the OSBA member together to see if their availability and also the availability of just general. I mean, it is right around Thanksgiving and it's also before Christmas. That's why I landed on the week of the first week of December.
Did they provide other options? Are there other dates that we can look at?
I did not. If you want, I can look into other dates, but I need other dates now, so we can make sure.
Yeah.
So if the three of you can give me some dates, I will start seeing what else I can do.
It's probably best to get options because the three of us aren't the only ones that matter. We need the other potential candidates.
I have talked to the other
Okay.
potential candidates, and they were available at that time because it is this far out. I apologize for assuming, I assumed that being this far out that, I mean, you got that December 6th on a Saturday, everyone has enough time to readjust their calendars and get everything done for that Saturday. And again, it's Saturday, not evening, but Saturday day, the morning and in the afternoon.
Well, we have a winter market that day on December 6th, so I wouldn't be able to do the
Yeah,
winter
here in the
market
building, and
both.
game days are full day.
Okay.
Yeah.
December's busy. Okay.
So while I understand, I would like to look into other dates. I am happy to share my calendar.
I am requesting right now, if you three can look at your calendars.
Is it only Saturdays, or what are we?
To get everything done, it'll be great to be on a Saturday, but if you just give me some dates and I'll see what I can do.
Okay.
And then if I can't, I will make the board a little more through emails and stuff. I will make the board more available. And Jalicia, with you, I do apologize because I could have sworn. Oh, I understand. No, I haven't told you. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's all right.
So if you guys don't mind looking at your calendars right now.
Yeah, sure.
And give me a couple dates that I could readjust and see what I can do.
I know we have Jason coming at 7:45, so maybe it might be better for you to shoot an email and then get availability that way,
Yes,
just
ma'am.
to keep us moving on time.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Okay. All right, any other discussion on that? Okay. All right, item number 2, criterion for consult contract. Mr. Smith and Ms. Ruffin, where are you guys in that process?
Ready.
We're still having a conversation.
You're still working on it? Okay.
Really trying to understand what Mr. Reed
What's he wrong
wants
with? Okay,
as it relates to adding these contracts to the board agenda.
okay,
Still trying to be clear.
I
Okay.
can go on with the mentor specialist.
okay, yes, go ahead.
The one thing that, working with Dr. Dinan, one of the things that I realized is these people are not just selected because they're here. They're selected because they usually lead and they have a different level of understanding with young people. So the other part of it is just as a standard, as a norm, so that the board can always be informed, just like she just gave the overview about the funds. It's going to always be the same process. When people are getting additional assignments, they're going to have to give us some feedback on how these assignments work. Did they really benefit the children? Did they benefit the adults that they're serving? And if there's a comprehensive report at the end of your work, then it speaks for itself. You know, it could be that we need to trade out. We may need to have somebody else do it because maybe you were not as effective as we thought you would have been, or we continue because you're leading us in the right path. So without having some document that says how did it turn out, it makes it a little difficult to figure out was it effective or not. Now at this point, we believe it's effective, but I need evidence. I need facts that says it was effective. And if those facts are put in front of the board or in front of other staff members, then people could say, this was a good thing, and here's the outcome that matters. So moving forward, there will always be a report from people who have these additional assignments. How did it turn out? And why were you the person selected? Because I led it with fidelity, and here's my report.
Any questions on that?
Wonderful.
Okay.
All right, moving on to item number 8, board coordination matters. All right, who'd like to go first?
I'll go, mine's very quick. Attended the first secondary PTA meeting of the year, and I'm going to do, I always do, please join the secondary PTA. They are a great group that does a lot of great work. We heard Gerald present tonight about how many more students are involved in athletics. I think it would be absolutely fantastic if we could get more parents involved in the PTA in terms of helping them. I know they do a lot with a very limited budget, and maybe if it's just people helping fundraise, or more importantly though, I think they can use volunteers at events, and that is just, they do the same events every year. They do them very, very well, but I know there's lots of people that are, I don't want to say tired, but there's a lot of people that could use help, and as people's kids graduate out of the school district, we're not necessarily replacing those PTA members in terms of doing the work that is being very successful in helping our kids. So if you can, please volunteer for events or anything like that and help out.
So I think the other part of it, inviting the young people tonight and inviting their parents, it might be a good opportunity to have people sign up for the PTA because you're already here.
That's me.
Mine's pretty quick. With athletics, I was supposed to meet with FAA. Chris was out of the office, so they haven't had a meeting, or I wasn't on the invite, so I'm not aware of that one. I will call out, we have homecoming coming up. I believe it's
working on a card for us too for the parade.
Yes.
So.
My calendar's on the wrong date now, and that is next Thursday, not this week, but next Thursday. The 25th is the parade, and then the game is that weekend. And then, as always, sign up for concessions. There is a sign up out there to work concessions. It is a lot of fun. It is usually a crazy group, and you get to kind of see the games and the people in the crowd, and it's a good time.
All right.
Well, I'm actually very excited to say that the very first competition the band went to, the marching band went to, they actually got second all around. So it's very, very impressive that they have done that. So Mr. Delaney, Mr. Frank, and his team are doing a great job with our students. If you are hungry on Wednesday evening, please go to the City Barbecue. There is a dine to donate, so a portion of your dinner does go back to the music department. Since Lindsay was talking about the homecoming weekend, the alumni, the FAN, or the Finneytown Alumni Network, they are actually helping out with that as well. They are they're going to do a golf outing, and of which all teams are actually full. So unfortunately, if you want to participate, we can love to have volunteers. Along with that, there's also building tours that Friday, and that Saturday there's also going to be a Hall of Fame inductee and banquet. So if you want to enjoy watching Old Finneytown, people get some teachers, some past students to get inducted in the Hall of Fame, you can sign up at finneytownalumni.org to either sign up, learn, or find a way you can help. Also, if you're interested in the history of Finneytown, there are Finneytown books, again, written by an alumni. You can get those books at High Grain, Arts Connect, Hairline One, or just the Finneytown Alumni office, actually in here in Brent. The proceeds go to the Legacy Project. You heard Mr. Anderson talk about the Legacy Project. They are the ones that helped out with the gym, the bleachers, the paint, the new floor, and hopefully we'll get a chance as the Legacy Project gets kicked off, we'll have enough funds to see what we can do to renovate the PAC and make that more ADA compliant. Again, with that is finneytownalumni.org. I also, if you guys know, that I'm part of the Crusaders, which is our youth football program. I can tell you with all pride that our K through second grade is undefeated. Our third through fourth grade team is actually 2-1, and so is our fifth and sixth grade team. They're 2-1. Our last home game will be October 11th on Saturday morning. So if you want to see our youth go against other schools, since we are a feeder team now, please do that. And on the 28th is also our cheer competition. I'm also the liaison for the elementary PTA. There's a lot of exciting things that are happening. Dance classes already started, carnivals planned, winter markets already planned, hospitalities going through all the events, playground equipment, and everything else is being stocked. And if you are interested, there is a meeting. Just come to see what we're doing. This Wednesday at the elementary school library. So go to City Barbecue, have something to eat, come and to the meeting and see what else you can learn from the elementary school. 7 p.m.
All right, I had just a few things. Seth named a lot of things. So one thing, gifted testing will take place this week. I think 5th and 6th, they're going to be doing their assessments. And it's just going to better understand student processes, measure reasoning skills, quantitative and verbal skills. So make sure you get those kids to bed early. Spirit Fridays, as Mr. Warmack mentioned, make sure you show your pride by wearing red, blue, and Finneytown gear. You touched on PTA meeting. Homecoming football game is September 26th. Don't forget to sign up for your organizational memberships. Juniors who are interested in taking the PSAT must register by September 24th, and the test date is actually on October 14th. There's a free FAFSA meeting on Thursday, October 9th at 4, if you need help with FAFSA. Freddy's will be visiting the secondary campus to meet with juniors and seniors who are interested in jobs. And there's also a lot of scholarship opportunities on the Finneytown webpage. And that's what I had. All right, moving on to item number 9, financial matters. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Do I have a second? All right, Anita, can you walk us through the report?
Total
total revenues for the month of August was $1,006,968. Year to date, total revenues for the month of August were $1,006,968. Fiscal year to date, $7,166,285. Total expenditures for the month of August was $1,753,983. Year to date, $2,981,331. Cash balance for fiscal year to date, our ending cash balance is $14,203,550. As you can see, the revenues and the expenditures are in line. Again, that's because well, first of all, they're in line and consistent with previous years, as you can see by the graphs. Also, the estimated portion and the actual are the same because the budget has not been established. I have two microphones.
One's having issues.
Okay.
We're both having issues. Keep going.
Okay. The depository investment balances as of August 31, 2025. U.S. Bank, $358,063. U.S. Bank Construction, $1,836,514. Star Ohio, $3,153,906. Star Ohio, again, $29,032,426. Star Ohio Construction number 2, $3,293,444. Star Ohio for local share, $152,349. And Star Ohio state share, $4,277,898. The interest that has been earned on our depository and investment accounts are as follows. On the general fund, $112,714. For the construction fund, $24,311. And for the classroom facilities fund, $16,698. As it relates to the monthly bond commitment report, which should be that final, second to the last page in the documents that you received. Total proceeds for the project are $63,340,274. Total expended is $26,064,184, leaving a cash balance of $37,276,091. As Grant alluded to, we will start to really see large changes in these balances as we begin to spend money building the secondary campus.
Okay.
The next item is item E. So the final page that you received was the amended official certificate of estimated resources. And that document, I'll just summarize it. Says we are looking at an estimated resources for fiscal year 26 of $39,082,304. We will begin to flesh this out more at the next meeting. We would go over the budget as well as looking at the 5-year forecast. I expect to have or send an invite out for the finance committee to talk more in depth about the budget as well as the 5-year forecast. And speaking of the 5-year forecast and the budget, you can see item F, which is what I will submit this evening, assuming that the board approves this report, is our permanent appropriations for fiscal year 26. To the general fund, we're going to appropriate $21,405,542. And then you can see in the agenda, I won't go all the way through all of each of these individual items, monies that we're allocating or appropriating for each of these funds that we expect to spend during fiscal year 26. So we expect to spend a total of, give me a second here. It's 29 million. It got cut off at the bottom of your page. And that number is $29,025,266. That's what we are appropriating for this year, fiscal year 26. And then the final, well, the second, item number G rather, is our payment procedures, and we're recommending that the board approve this authorization for us to make payments of our bills that are within the appropriations measure, so we don't have to bring each individual check to the board. If you would just approve this resolution, that will allow us just to report at the summary level that we've been used to reporting. And then item H is an approval of a payment for an invoice that was received before we had a purchase order, and it's for our swipe cards, for our annual subscription for our swipe cards, which goes right in line with the earlier presentation on safety. Are there any questions?
May I have a roll call vote, please?
Okay. Give me 1 second. Mr. Plow?
Yes.
Mr. Ray?
Yes.
Ms. Lee?
Yes.
Ms. McMullen?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, motion passes. Moving on to item number 10, superintendent's recommendations. May I have a motion, please?
I'll motion.
Second.
Okay. You can walk us through this, Mr. Smith.
10.01, 10.1, excuse me, adoption of consent calendar. The first one, letter A, is approval of payment for certificated staff, and this runs August 1st to July 31st. Letter B is approval of payment continued certificated staff, but this one runs August 1st to June 30th, and this is an extended day. Letter C, approval of payment certificated staff, but this is for IEP training. And letter D is the academic supplemental. This is all of the clubs like band, music, pep band, etc. Letter E is approval of payment certificated staff, and these are all mentors, and this runs August 1st to June 30th. And then we have a special one, which is a letter F, acceptance of donations. It's recommended that the board accept the following donations: a cash donation of $200 to the Principal Fund Secondary Campus on behalf of the class of 1995 on August 5th, and then a cash donation of $2,500 to the Social Work Fund from Neediest Kids of All, NKOA, on July 18th. And then that's it. It goes into a number.
Any questions on this portion? Okay, may I have a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Ray?
Yes.
Mr. Paul?
Yes.
Ms. Lee?
Yes.
Ms. McMullen?
Yes. Motion passes. Moving on to item number 11, approval of substitute teachers provided by Comprehensive Substitute Solutions. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. All right. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Ms. Lee?
Yes.
Ms. McMullen?
Yes.
Mr. Paul?
Yes.
Mr. Ray?
Yes.
All right, motion passes. Moving on to item number 12, approval of resolution for treasurer insurance in lieu of bond.
Yes, we talked about that.
Yes.
Yes. And this is just, so instead of having a bond, or purchasing a bond, I'm now included, and our treasurer's office is now included in the insurance.
Thanks for bringing that to our attention, too. Thank you so much.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Oh, that's me.
Take your time.
Mr. Ray?
Yes.
Ms. Lee?
Yes.
Ms. McMullen?
Yes.
Mr. Plow?
Yes.
Motion passes. Moving on to item number 13, review of action steps. Do we have any? I know you're still working on the last action step. I know you said you were still working on it. Any other ones?
I will email the board to find out when they want to sit down and talk for a workshop.
Okay. All right. The next regular meeting of the Board of Education will take place on Monday, September 15th, 2025, in the Brent Board Office Meeting Room, 8791 Brent Drive, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45231. Open forum will begin at 6 o'clock p.m. All right. At this time, this concludes our regular scheduled meeting, and the board is going to move into executive
Do we need to
session.
vote to?
Okay? Yes. Item number 13, may I have a motion for executive session?
I'll motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay.
Was
We
that
are in-
Seth first?
We are in executive session. Have a wonderful evening, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Yes,
we need a roll call vote.
Okay, guys, I'm doing my best.
I know, you're doing fine.
You're doing great.
I'm doing my
You're doing fine.
best. Okay, may I have a roll call?